Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
With less
things.
Hello, things. I like things.
Hello.
Do you guys like things?
Things are good.
I mean,
Hello.
I think. Hello. Are we just gonna say?
I didn't know
hello?
we were going live.
I told you we were going
Hello.
live.
Or did you?
Yeah, I did. I was like, "Are you ready to go live?" And you were like,
Oh. I
think-
ignored you.
I think you. Yeah, I mean, that's just sort of what you do now, isn't it?
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to our illustrious guest,
We've been off for a couple
Big
weeks.
Bradley.
Yeah. Am I
We have been off for a
illustrious?
couple weeks. You are. You're very
Definitely.
illustrious. Yeah,
100%.
especially with that
Aw.
hair. Definitely illustrious.
Well, it's going
Illustrious.
away very soon.
Oh, is it going away?
Yeah.
Cutting it for charity.
Yes.
Good.
Awesome.
And I need to find someone that will do it.
That might be hard to find right now, actually.
Yeah, well, yeah, because my problem is that, well, no, there's, I mean, it's Texas. There's, like, nobody cares.
No one cares there then.
No, but for me, I don't have a hairdresser. I have my wife, who is a former hairdresser. But she can't do it because we can't ship it ourselves. It has to be a person that is like
Right.
that does it.
Yeah.
So you got to go shopping for a hairdresser.
Yeah.
You got to do two things. One, you got to run like a charity thing for it to try and raise money.
What?
Why?
Like raise money for a children's hospital, saying you're going to cut off your hair and donations go to a children's hospital and the hair goes to a place to make Wigs for children. Like,
See, it's great idea. It's a fantastic idea, but here's the problem: that requires time and
it does.
effort,
It does.
and I have neither.
I know that feeling very well, Jake. Very well.
I like your name, Jake.
What? Oh God. Crustacean bake Jake.
Crustacean bake Jake.
That one's a good one.
Like a
Lobster rolls.
like a crab boil,
Yeah, crab
Yeah,
boil
crab
or
boil.
lobster rolls
Shrimp.
or
crawfish boil.
yeah, sure.
There you go. Perfect. So what's this show about anyway?
I think this is the show where we talk about video games.
Oh, okay. So, should we do that?
I guess we should. This is the show where we talk about video games that are not Star Citizen until
Yes.
the day someday where we will talk about Star Citizen because
But it won't be on this show though.
it'll
No.
there are frequent actually, let's be honest. There is a mention of Star Citizen every single week on this
Well,
show.
yeah, but
When we say that
like,
we don't talk about
we
Star
don't
don't make
say
it
Citizen
a
on
that we're
the
not
point
show.
to talk about, okay? Like, just don't worry about it, all right?
All right, I won't worry about it. This is the show where we talk about the other video games that exist in the world because they are many and they are great.
They are many and also great.
So
Yeah.
we start with a little thing that we like to call chapter segmentin 0. What you playing?
Maybe we should start with you this week, David.
You want to start with me? Okay, well,
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot. I want your
What-
views on all of these games.
I know, and I'm going to give my views. So I'm going to start with Maneater. So Maneater came out a while ago. It went up on Game Pass like this week or last week or something. Recently went on Xbox Game Pass, so it's free to play. Tried it out. I played, I don't know, probably 6 hours over the course of 2 days. Then I uninstalled it. It's fun. The writing is actually great. The writing is way better than it has any reason to be. But you play as a shark, and you travel through various, like, ocean water places, like swamp, really nice, I don't even know what to call it, but like you almost start in like poor, really disgusting swamps and slowly make your way through to like rich people areas where they've got like really big boats and stuff. And they give you missions the entire way through, and you have to eat people and other fish and grow and level up your various things, and you evolve in weird ways. Like the first one I got was electric jaws, so anytime I bit something it did 2 damage to it, 2 electric damage to it, and if I bit them 10 times they get stunned or something. Like weird little evolutions and weird little moves. It's a fun game. It definitely wore thin on me. Like it doesn't really change much at all. But especially because it's on Game Pass. Hey Sargarath, no worries about being late.
What's up, dude?
Especially because it's on Game Pass, it's 100% worth it to try. There's no reason to not try it. It's really fun for a couple hours. Yeah, that's Maneater.
Nice.
What's next?
Next, I'm going to talk
What else did you
Biomutant.
play?
I also played Biomutant, which just came out.
Ooh.
Which is something that we had been looking at and sort of salivating over for like years.
Yeah.
Years.
Yeah.
It's not full price, and that is good.
Uh-huh.
That's one way to put it, I suppose.
So
Why is
wait-
it good, David?
it's good that it's not full price because it definitely has no like excuse to be full price. It is not nearly as I got comparisons to things like Breath of the Wild early on, and it's not. It's a large open world game where you play as like a little furry rodent.
But is it like Immortals?
Immortals?
Phoenix Rising.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, you know what?
But is it like Genshin Impact?
No.
Okay.
No.
What's it like?
What it is most like, in my opinion, is a mix between Beyond Good and Evil and Fable.
That sounds dope.
But not...
Is it dope?
I'm waiting for a couple patches. So...
Okay.
I think one of the mistakes I made is I made a character that is they call it a psi freak, in that you've got all these psychic powers. But I realized after the fact that honestly their psychic powers list is really underwhelming. There's like
That's lame.
5 to 7 like damage dealing psychic powers, and they're all tied, all the good ones are tied to their like good and dark and light system. When you make choices in the game, you can choose good or evil for the choice. That's it. It's just good or evil, and you get 1 point in either of those things. There are some moves, for example, like some of the good psychic moves are locked behind 20 good or 20 evil points. Well, after like 10 hours of playing, I had like, I think 8 dark and like 4 light points or something. Like, it would take so long to get some of these moves that I found myself as a psi freak not using the psychic powers at all. And because I went that way, I buffed my intelligence because it's got all your stats. I buffed my intelligence, which meant my combat was not as good, which meant I lacked it. So what I'm waiting for is a couple patches. A number of the things that people have been complaining about, they actually had a patch, I think, today. They're starting to fix some of the things. People were saying that combat doesn't feel punchy enough. So they're making the weapons impact harder. They're making loot better. Which I think, honestly, that's what they need. I think it's an incredibly interesting game. I love a lot of what they've done. The character of the world is really, really unique. A lot of what they've done is just not something you see often. It reminds me a lot of, honestly, a bunch of older games. A little bit almost Conker's Bad Fur Day almost as well. Like, it's just, there's character, or like the Banjo and Kazooies and stuff. It's not a platformer, but there's just, it's a different world, and it's a more imaginative world that I'm used to seeing nowadays. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, I know I'm just rambling. I think it's a good game that just needs a couple patches. Hey, Flaffy, thanks for the follow.
Do you think it would ever be deserving of a full price, or is it just not that type of a game?
I mean, it's not at full price. It's not an $80 game. It's a $50 game.
My question is, okay, could it be worth $80, even though it'll never be $80, or is it?
Should you buy it eventually?
It might be worth $50.
Conker's Bad Fur Day, for the record, Flaffy, is one of my favorite games of all time. That game was
just one of the greatest games of all time.
Absolutely one of the greatest games of all time, and I'm so sad that it never.
Game.
Lovely game. I think if you're up for, yeah, I do want to switch to Canadian. Thanks, Sargareth. Me personally, I think that I need to go into the game fully embracing the martial aspect of it, because the combat is very martial arts. It's very Devil May Cry. It's lots of combos. It's lots of moving around stuff, and I just wasn't engaged in that because of the character choice I made, which I think is really disappointing. But
Forgot about Devil May Cry. I'm still in the middle of 4.
you're still in the middle of it.
Forgot about it entirely.
But that's sort of what the combo is like, right? It's
Okay.
combos, it's juggling, that's what the combat is like. But I didn't get that as a intelligence character, and I think that I'm really missing that, because
Yeah.
the loot is so great, and honestly, there's a crafting system. The crafting system is so much fun. If you like exploration and crafting and like button mashing combat, then this is absolutely a great game, especially at the price. If you want a story that is like your choices matter, this is not that. There are 2 endings. Period. Right? Like, this is not a Mass Effect. It's not even Fable in that respect. It's Fable more in some of the humor and some of the there are map markers, for example, when you like fast travel markers throughout the 8-kilometer map. When you use one of them, your little furball, your dude who's a little fuzzy animal, pees on them. That's how he marks the location.
Okay.
Right? It's
in.
that sort of humor.
Just reminds me of Metal Gear Solid 5, where your horse had a dedicated poop button. You just push the button and he poops.
Yeah. It's a really fun
Amazing.
game. It just needs a little bit of patching, which it came out, I think, last week, and it's already got a first patch that some people were complaining. One of the things that was sort of annoying was there's no dialogue in the game. It's all done by a third-person narrator. Everything is all done by one person's voice.
Okay.
And
I kind of dig it though.
I love it. I think it's great. The thing that was annoying was your critters have a gibberish language. So the way it would happen is like
Animal Crossing?
animal noises, and then the animal noises would stop, and the narrator would say, he says this and this and this, and it's like,
Oh, it just made it take forever.
takes forever. So I'd skip they've now added options. They've already patched that. They've added options for
Wonderful.
skipping one, skipping the other, speeding them up. Like, great. They've already
Great.
responded to community complaints. Really pleased. Anyway,
Did they release this indie or did they have a publisher?
they had a publisher.
Who dat?
THQ Nordic.
I'm just wondering if they got like a little nudge to say, hey, it's time to release this thing.
I think they did, and I'm again really disappointed by this, because I think that there's a lot to this game that should have been polished a little bit more, and the game would have been a lot better if it had. Reviews are giving it like 60%. I think that's wrong. I think it's a 7.5 to 8 personally.
Okay.
But it's clear there are clearly areas where it's incomplete. One of the big problems is there are settlements that, like, there are a bunch of tribes, and you have to unite the tribes by taking them over. But all of the settlements are the same. They're the same layout.
Ew. Gross.
It doesn't matter, because you're literally never in the settlement again, except for taking it. Like, it's a small thing.
It
It's
does
like,
matter though. That's
But
like
it's-
a 1995 game thing.
but a lot of this game is that old. Like, a lot of it feels again like Fable or like Beyond Good and Evil. Like, it feels like an old game. It's great, but anyway, I would caution people about picking it up, but I am going to play it and enjoy it. Unfortunately, there's a game that I've been enjoying a hell of a lot more this week. which
Why
is
is that
Days.
unfortunate?
Well, it's unfortunate for Biomutant because I really wanted to play more Biomutant, but I've become fully, completely immersed in Days Gone.
That's cool.
So Days Gone is a open world zombie survival single player game.
Starring Darth Maul.
Is that who it is?
Yeah, Sam Witwer, dude.
I didn't even know.
You know Sam Witwer's Darth Maul?
No?
It's like his most iconic performance.
I don't know who Sam Witwer is.
Oh my god. Did you not watch Battlestar Galactica?
No, I didn't like it.
Oh, did you all
Too
right.
gritty. Too
That's
dark
a
and gritty.
That's a whole different conversation.
You're hurting
you-
Jake.
Did you
so
play
much.
Did you play Star Wars Force Unleashed?
I did.
Same guy.
I didn't get very
That's
far
him.
in it. Liked the game, didn't get far. I think I was renting it at the time.
You should play that game. It's fun.
That was back in like renting games days. A long time ago.
Yeah. You
God.
should play that game. It's good. Sam
Someday.
Witwer is a national treasure. I love that man.
Days Gone.
He's the main character of Days
Okay.
Gone.
It is for a long time I wasn't sure if I would get it because I hate the character they've gone with as the main character. He's like semi douchey, like Mongols biker dude.
Yeah.
And that's just so the opposite of me. I can't like I don't think you can get further away from me. So it took me a while, but I holy shit, it's a good game. I think it might be the best zombie survival game that there is. It's not Left 4 Dead. It's not, I think that's about it. It's not Left 4 Dead, but it might be the best zombie survival game I have yet played. The PC port, this is a PC port, is also flawless.
That's cool.
I do not think I've played a better PC port ever.
That's awesome.
Horizon Zero Dawn is really, really good, but it needed a couple patches to get to the point that it ran.
The board had some problems right away at the very beginning. Yeah,
This has none. It is.
that's awesome.
Cool.
It looks outstanding. It plays flawlessly. No slowdown. No issues. Nothing at all. And the game is just fun. It's an open world game, but it does it in such an interesting way. It actually took me a while to get my head around the different way that they've done open world in this, because it's not like an Assassin's Creed or even a Horizon Zero Dawn where there's just stuff everywhere that you can go do. There's missions all over the place and you just go and do them, right? Go to this one, do that, go to the... It's sort of based on storylines, and there's all these different interwoven storylines. So there's these main story branches, and you've got like the main story of you trying to find your wife, and then you trying to keep your friend alive, and then you trying to save this person. These are all main stories. And there will be story markers throughout the map, right? And as you finish one, it's done for now until you'll do another mission that has part of that storyline in it. All of the storylines are interwoven. They all interconnect, and progress is based on, like, as you complete enough of the storylines, new storyline markers show up. It's really interesting. It makes the entire game feel a lot more story involved than any other open world game I think I have played. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know how to describe it or what to say about it, except to say that I think this might actually be one of my favorite open world games. Like, I don't think it beats Breath of the Wild, but I think it might beat Horizon Zero Dawn so far for me, personally.
David, I have a question for you.
What's that?
Oh, go ahead, Jake. Go ahead, Jake.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, can you say that the story is better in Days Gone than Horizon?
I can't yet because I haven't finished it. So far, where I'm at, I don't know how many hours in. I don't know if does Epic show the number of hours you've played a game?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
It's kind of disappointing if it doesn't. Anyway,
Well, you have GOG Galaxy.
do I?
Anyway, let's continue on from that.
I don't even know if GOG Galaxy knows that I've been playing it. Anyway, what was I saying? So far, there are parts of the story that I think at least rival Horizon Zero Dawn. There's a lot of interesting character development that you don't really expect. There's a lot that you do, but it is really, really there's, for example, there's camps, and you do missions for people in the camps, and the camps sort of, you go there to upgrade your bike, you go to the camps to trade in zombie ears, which are your trophies, you go there to buy new weapons, etc. There are 2 camps at the beginning. One camp I disliked immediately because the head of the camp was like right-wing gun nut, shows up on the radio every once in a while spouting conspiracies about how, the government caused this, and this is how the government takes all of us out, and this is why they tried to take our guns before they unleashed the zombie hordes on us, and immediate dislike from me. And then there's this other camp where it's this nice little old lady, and she's talking about how she wants to help everyone, and you're like, okay, yeah, I like this camp, I'm gonna do more stuff for this camp. And then you find people out in the wilderness and you save them from whatever, and then you give them you tell them to go to one of the 2 camps, and you can choose which camp to tell them to go to. So for the while, I was telling them to go to nice old little ladies camp because, well, it seems like a nicer place. Except through some of these storylines that you only start getting into further in, you start finding out that, it's actually basically a slave camp, and as soon as you go there, you cannot leave, and they force you to work, and if you don't work, they will take you off to another place and tie you up so that the zombies can eat you because you're not pulling your weight.
Well, that's nice.
It's really, really good. There's some twists in the stories so far. I don't know. I'm really, really impressed. I'm really, really surprised that this game got a mixed to negative reaction when it first came out on PlayStation. I've seen so far that on PC it's getting really, really good reviews, and that, in my opinion, is great because I am absolutely all over this game. I think it's phenomenal.
Yep.
So
I
my
played it
question-
when it first came out, and I bounced off of it in about an hour and a half. It didn't grab me at all.
You
And
don't like present day things very much, though.
it takes a lot
Yeah.
for it's not even just present day. It's like if you were to tell me that the next Assassin's Creed game had no ties to the through line story that they've been building on for over a decade, I'd be like, cool, I'm done. Like it's like I paid attention in history class. Like I know what happens if you're just saying, oh, I can play a historical event that happened and it's just dramatized. It's like that has no appeal for me.
Mm-hmm.
In like Red Dead Redemption, I'm going to get around to eventually, but I have no draw to play that game.
I personally think that this is a better paced game than Red Dead Redemption.
Okay.
There's not as
Being
much.
said,
There's not as much. Red Dead Redemption has so much to do in the world. There's the card games and there's just it's completely full everywhere. And this is not that. Lots of the game is empty. But in it being empty, I feel like it emphasizes the parts that are full a lot better. The acting is really good, the dialogue's really good, the story's really good. Like the parts that are there are really good. And yeah, other parts are just you driving down the road and there's not much going on because it's a zombie apocalypse and there's not much going on. I don't know,
Yeah,
it fits.
that
I
doesn't
like it.
sound appealing at all to me.
That's fair.
It's why it's why I bounced off of it. It's like so take let's now here's the thing is that's not a catch-all rule for me. Because I have this.
Yeah.
The Last of Us Part 2 is a better video game in every way, shape, or form than Days Gone. It's because, in my opinion, I think the story is told a heck of a lot better. It's a different type of game, sure, and I know it's difficult to tell a story in an open world game. I get it, but
I think you didn't give it enough chance. It's a little slow on the story, unfortunately, to start. And I don't think an hour is enough to really see what they're trying to do. I didn't understand what they were doing till probably like 3 or 4 hours in. It's definitely a different way of telling a story, and I don't think it's as good or an impactful as a story as Last of Us Part 2. But I
that's
still
because
think it's
there is no story.
well, I
good or
don't know because I
impactful
haven't
as
played it. What I will
Um,
say is it's
someday you
absolutely
will.
a good game.
And that's
so here's my question. Go ahead.
I mostly just want to say that like saying that a game needs 4 or 5 hours to simmer is like a huge negative point for me.
It doesn't need a 4 or 5 hours to simmer. It takes 4 or 5 hours to understand what they're doing with the storylines. You need to get
know.
enough of them to get it. I don't think it needed
But
any time to simmer. I liked it right off the bat, but that's differences.
Yeah, but so if it didn't grab me in the first hour, I'm also not going to like I'm not going to play it for 4 hours
yeah,
to see
that's
if
fine.
I like it.
Eric, what is
So-
your question?
What I want to know is, this game has a 92% rating on Steam, which
Yeah.
is very good.
Yep.
Obviously. Let's just say for a game that was supposed to be really good, the critics did not like it.
Yeah.
And they all had the same complaints.
Yep.
What is your take on why they saw it a certain way and why?
So what were the critics' complaints?
They say the world is bland and uninteresting. The narrative is bad, and the missions are repetitive and boring. Basically, the world is peculiarly constructed and empty and generic.
I definitely felt emptiness. Which is one of the reasons why I didn't spend a lot of time on it.
But yet, like, that's the critics' things, and their strong points were said that there were moments in the game that had very good, like what you were talking about, the acting is very good and that type of thing. Those were its strong points. But then, not every game gets 92% on Steam, so it must be doing something right.
I think it's just a very different way to do an open world game. Honestly,
Okay.
I personally think that it's very refreshing that it is not full at all times, because I'm finding with like Assassin's Creed up until Valhalla, which they actually changed a little bit in the like it's not as full everywhere.
Mhm.
You start getting sick of finding the little things and do like there's less of that in Days Gone, and I think it lends itself better to a post-apocalypse. I love zombie games. Like I think zombie games are one of my favorite type of games to play, period. I find them really, really interesting. I really like the stories that come out of them. I really like the gameplay of them. And I think this is one of the best ones that we have got for its game type, and I think that there's a lot of other people out there that agree, and I don't know why critics didn't like it. Then again, critics that played it maybe got to play Last of Us 2 as well, and those of us on PC don't. I don't know. I don't know.
Days Gone came out well before The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, I
over a year.
genuinely don't know why critics hated it, but people on PC love it
I
to this
told
extent.
you why I didn't like it. Maybe they share the same
Yeah, that's-
sentiment.
I was thinking maybe a lot
No,
of the
but
reviewers just bounced off of it, like Jake did.
Maybe, but why are there so many people that aren't? Like, it's got a 92 on Steam. That's not people bouncing
Why do people
off.
hate Kingdom
People-
Hearts?
Because people, what was that?
Why do people hate Kingdom Hearts?
Because it's kitty.
But it's not.
Yeah, but it looks kitty.
But that's actually not why people don't like it.
Okay, why don't people like it?
Because they think the story is confusing.
I mean, it is.
It's not though.
Jake, you could have a university degree teaching.
I could, but I've also played all the video games.
Yeah,
That's all you have to do is just play the games, and you'll get it.
There's lots of them.
I think I need to put a counter up on here for episodes
That's what
since
I'm-
Jake last talked about Kingdom Hearts,
I will
and it will
it's my
always be
favorite
at 0.
game. Why
I
would
know.
I not talk
will
about
say-
it on the podcast where we talk about games?
Okay, we need to move on because we are 33 minutes in and we are still on the first part of this first segment.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry.
Jake, what have you been playing?
I have been playing two things. One, I've been playing the remake of the Mass Effect trilogy,
Excellent.
which is extremely good.
I've heard.
Hey, spoiler though, the Mako still sucks.
Oh,
They can't get it right.
No,
They can't
that's
fix
good.
it?
That's good. The Mako is not supposed to be good. It's not supposed to be functional. Do not toy with my childhood by making the Mako work.
It's so terrible.
so bad.
It looks phenomenal. I'm playing it exclusively on my OLED TV at 4K 120 hertz with HDR.
Yeah, I'm sure
And
that looks
it's a
awful.
dream. It's a dream. Whenever I play a remaster for anything, my one thing that I'm like, it as long as it does this, it's money well spent. If I remember how I felt when I played the game the first time and aren't immediately seeing like the flaws that I didn't understand at the time because it was old and games were different back then, if they manage to suspend my disbelief that the game is like 15 years old in this case, it's a successful remaster, and they have definitely done that. Especially on the first one. I'm having a great time. You can play a canon female shepherd from the first game, which is new and awesome. The only sad part about it is the the Pinnacle Station. They lost the source code to it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
literally couldn't put part of the game into the remaster.
Yeah.
Well, and they got
So-
rid of the multiplayer from 3, which was great. Yeah.
And that I understand why. But yeah, it's amazing. If you have never played Mass Effect, now is the time.
How?
Dude, there's so many people.
That's
I didn't know
sad.
this. I now interact with the video game community on a regular basis,
Eric, have
There
you
are
never
so
played
many
Mass
people
Effect?
I've never played 3.
which is just bonkers to me. 3
It was EA's
is my
fault. I
favorite,
100%
but
blame
3 is
EA.
the best.
100%.
1 is the
I
best.
blame EA for this.
No, 1 is your favorite. 3 is the best. 2 is
Okay.
my favorite. 1 is your favorite. 3 is the best.
I will play Mass Effect 3 then. Well, I'll play the Legendary Edition. Play all 3 games. That seems like a better idea. I have a question. You're playing this on PC, I assume?
Yes, I am.
Controller
There's
or no
way
controller?
I would get 4K 120 out of a console.
Yeah, good point. Controller or no controller?
No controller.
Just keyboard and mouse?
Yep.
Nice.
I have a nice little couch set up for keyboard and mouse.
Perfect.
But yeah, Mass Effect, worth every penny. $60 for that much video game is a steal. Go do it. It's like over 100 hours of video game. Like,
If you've never
it's
played it
absolutely
before,
worth
it's absolutely worth it. I'm
It-
debating because I've played through all 3 like 6 times each, but it's probably gonna
I
happen at
haven't
some
even
point.
played through them that much.
I spent a lot of time, but even before Mass Effect 2 came out, a friend and I played Mass Effect so many times that we actually started a conversion of D20 to, like, we converted Mass Effect into D20
Oh
rule
my
set.
god.
I really, really liked Mass Effect, okay?
It's good. But yeah, play it. It's worth it, 100%. It looks phenomenal. The only thing that makes those games show their age is the animations, and even then, your disbelief is suspended pretty quickly.
Awesome.
So that's the first thing I'm playing. Second thing I'm playing is a little game by the name of Final Fantasy 14. Now,
Never heard of it.
Final Fantasy 14 is a game that I dip into once in a very great while. And every time I do, I always forget. I'm always like, why did I put this down? This is a blast. And it is a wonderful, wonderful game. The reason why I got back into it is because, they're like, hey, Jake, guess what? I'm like, what's that, Square? And they said, we've got a new expansion coming out for Final Fantasy 14. I'm like, that's cool. I don't know if I'm going to come back, but it's awesome that you guys are still making it. And they're like, yeah, but we're going to space this time. And I'm like,
What?
okay, let's go.
All
I
right.
gotcha.
Yeah, they're going to space in the new expansion.
Good to know.
They've also released, they're going to be releasing a class called the Reaper.
Yep.
The Reaper
Okay.
is, they're like, hey, we heard you guys like Bloodborne. What if we just made a character class that's just Bloodborne? And that is that. Everybody in the chat, you should go look up the reveal video for the Reaper class. It looks so good.
All right.
I am very excited.
Im-
I'm
im-
literally leveling a Dragoon right now. I don't normally play melee classes at all, but this looks so much fun that I want to play it, and I'm leveling Dragoon right now because they share gear. So
Oh, cool.
I'm getting ready to play Reaper in a big way.
One thing to note is the first half of FF14 is free to play. You can put a ton of time into FF14 as completely free to play before you have to buy anything.
The only thing you can't do is you can't do any of the raids.
Yeah.
You can't join a free company. And there's one other thing you can't do. And
Party stuff is limited, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
you can still do light party, like dungeons. You can
Yeah.
still do those. You
It's-
can't do any of the heroic modes.
if you've never played FF14,
just do it. You don't have an
absolutely
excuse.
try it out. There's no reason
Do
to
it.
not try it. It is free.
It's so good, and the reason why I like it so much is because all of the things that are wrong with World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 14 has solved. It's like, man, I did all this rep grind on my character. I really want to level an alt, but I hate the fact that I'm going to lose all that rep. Final Fantasy's like, cool. How about you just make one character and then you can switch classes whenever you want?
Yeah.
I'm
There's
like,
no
that
need
sounds
for alts.
wonderful. And they're like, oh yeah, and also, why don't we just make it like we'll scale experience according to whatever your highest class is. So you can just level things super fast no matter what. Always.
That's cool.
And all your reps stays the same, all your crafting stuff stays the same. Oh yeah, also you can do every crafting profession, all of them, if you want to.
They take a lot of the seemingly really silly barriers that WoW has in place and get rid of them.
All of the time sinks. They're just like, hey, we get it. Y'all are adults, but you want to play this game.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? It's a Japanese game. Everybody in Japan works like 130 hours a week. So they're like, there's no way people are going to play this game if they have to sink all this time into it. And
is that it?
They solved that problem. And the best part is, especially if you're like me who gets WoW fatigue every once in a while, the art style is not like Dungeons and Dragons like WoW is, or like how most MMOs were. It's Final Fantasy. It's a very unique art style that's unique to like a JRPG. The story is incredible. People consider Shadowbringers to be of the same caliber as like Final Fantasy 7 or 10 or 12 or 6. Like it's gone down as one of the greats, like in terms of its story. Like anything you can think of that is like, but does it do this better than WoW? The answer is probably yes. So like it's a great game. You should try it. It's fun. There's a tank class that uses gun blades.
I mean, that is pretty cool.
Yeah. There's a class just called Dancer.
Yep.
And there's also a Bard. Also. There's Bard and there's Dancer.
I mean, they have to be in that party together, right?
Yeah, they could be. They're both ranged DPS. Yeah.
Are you playing
Final
anything
Fantasy
else?
15. Nope, that's it.
That's it? All right.
Work. And moving to Austin.
Yes.
Yay.
You're playing the Moving to Austin game.
Yep. We're almost all sorted. I have a house.
Perfect.
Important.
It's done. We've got like 3 more things to solidify before we move in.
Nice.
Perfect.
That's it.
Eric, what have you been playing?
This is going to keep this very short and sweet. Divinity Original Sin 2 remains one of the best games ever made.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
I'm fully enveloped in that game again.
I'm itching to play Baldur's Gate, and I'm
I know.
stopping myself.
It's killing me so
need it
much.
so badly, dude.
I am not touching it till it's out.
Not touching it.
Me
Not
neither.
touching it.
But man,
Bigfoot
I'm
Bowl.
so
I
excited
need
for
so
it.
bad. I bought it to support the development of this game, but
Same.
I will not touch it until it is done.
We should do like a relay
Mhm.
Baldur's
That
Gate.
would be good.
Mm-hmm. We
That
should
would be
stream
good.
that. Yes, we should do
That
that
would be
for
very
sure.
good.
There. Let's set up a couple hours a week to do that.
Done.
Sweet. All right, moving on. We have a second segment, guys. Can you believe
There's
it?
many segments.
The accurately named segment 2, One Game You Want. Let's do this one relatively quickly because we still got news to cover. Eric, what do you want?
I found this game today on Steam called The Tenants, which basically is a game where you you build houses, sort of the Sims style, and then instead of actually moving your characters, and you find tenants to rent your place, and then they have all sorts of crazy hijinks that happen, and you have to try and ensure that your tenants don't die. It looks pretty fun. It's got great reviews on Steam. It's in early access right now, and I would like to try it. Jake.
Horizon Forbidden West. I'm going to talk about it more in a second, but man,
Looks
they
real
put
good.
out a 14-minute gameplay trailer, and it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life.
I forgot.
And yet it still had flaws in it, and I still loved it. It's ridiculous.
I forgot. I also finally beat Horizon Zero Dawn. I booted it up, and apparently I was at the last mission.
Like at the end of the game.
Literally I just had to go talk to the guy to start the last mission. So
Perfect.
I beat that this week as well. Good game.
Excellent. Very good game.
Yep.
Yep.
I want a game called Going Medieval, which is just came out on Steam Early Access. It's a colony building sim, sort of like RimWorld, but you're building a medieval town. And I like
Dwarf Fortress.
Dwarf Fortress, but yeah, but not dwarves. But it looks
when
cool.
Does that come out? When does Dwarf Fortress come out?
I don't know.
Because they're making a non-ASCII version of Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah, which, I mean, it still doesn't look.
RimWorld.
Hey, Cinders. I mean,
Hi, Cinders.
uh,
I mean,
even
I
the
need it.
the
I put,
non-ASCII version doesn't even look good, but it's
No.
at least understandable because the ASCII version of Dwarf,
Hey, David, bump my volume. Apparently,
bump your volume.
yeah. Pump up
Okay.
the volume.
Done.
Under the release date for Dwarf Fortress, it says time is subjective.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah, dude. Okay, so I bought RimWorld right when I moved to Texas, and there was about a month where I didn't have a job yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just chilling in my friend's house, basically.
Playing RimWorld.
And I bought RimWorld because I was like, I need a cheap game to keep me occupied, and it was like $30. And I was like, perfect. I haven't played a game like this in a long time. It ate like weeks of my life to the point where I had done like several successful colonies, and I was like, I gotta stop. And I have not picked it up since because I needed to stop. Thank you, Shiver, for kickstarting RimWorld. I blame you for a black hole period of my life.
I've never actually gotten into RimWorld for some
It's
reason.
awesome.
It's really good.
Awesome.
And I kind of did the same thing Jake did. I realized one day that I like sat down and just played RimWorld until I like realized that I might just die because I hadn't eaten anything that day.
I had to do
played
the
it in a long
same
time
thing.
since then.
I had to do the same thing for Stardew Valley. I had to
Yep.
put a stop to it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shiver.
I will say one of our friends got so into Minecraft at one point that we had to have an intervention, and our friend that was hosting the Minecraft server actually shut down the Minecraft server permanently so this friend couldn't get back on because he was literally like he was trying to finish his master's degree, and he was just playing Minecraft instead of like
His master's degree?
writing his, yeah. So we actually shut down Minecraft so that he couldn't play it on that server at least anymore, which was sad because there were a lot of things built on that server. Anyway,
Yep.
all right, let's move to news. The Thorth
News.
segment. It's time for the Thorth segment, guys. Hey, look,
Thorth.
news. It's the
It's the Thorth segment.
The fourth segment, yep.
For those new to the show, we have segments on our podcast that are all very poorly named. Some
Poorly
of
as
you
we can
joined
make
late,
them.
so let's walk through it up until this point. So the first segment is called Segmetin Zero. Is spelled SEGMETN 0. And
Segment
it's called What
zero.
You're Playing. The second segment is called the accurately named Segment 2, One Game You Want.
It's accurately
It
named.
is accurately named. So we're now in the third segment, which is called the Thorth segment.
Yes.
Thorth. Hey, look, guys, news. And yes, it is all in Comic Sans because David is a degenerate. Thank you. Let us continue.
All right.
All right.
News time. Time for news. All the Crisis games are getting a remaster, and I'm just sitting here
Why?
asking why.
Why?
They were bad games.
I mean, they weren't bad games. They were
They were thoroughly
aggressively
mediocre
okay
games.
They were
Thoroughly
first game-
mediocre.
the first game was maybe the greatest tech demo I've ever played in my life.
Oh, absolutely.
phenomenal tech demo. Not a good
Uh-huh.
game.
Nope.
The second one was a better game, but it still wasn't great. And the third game was just a tragedy.
They were just.
Um,
But what? Why? Anyway.
Why? That's all.
Because
we have to say
Crytek
about
has no money, and
I
they're
know.
like, "What do we do?"
Let's
True.
try and make some off this. Yeah, I know.
that. All right. Far Cry 6 had a gameplay reveal that I didn't watch. However, the thing that I did watch was the most important thing of all, and that is Wiener Chair Dog.
Wiener Chair Dog.
If you have not seen Wiener Chair Dog, please do yourself a favor and Google Far Cry 6. Just Far Cry 6 dog, and you'll
Yeah.
find it. He's a precious,
He's adorable.
precious bean.
And you can pet him.
And You can pet him.
I mean,
that's
I'm sold.
That's all I have to say about it. Everything else looks like just Far Cry.
Yeah.
So
It looks
So,
like
yeah.
Far Cry, except one bit of news that I did hear today, which, I mean, we'll see if it actually happens, but the narrative director for the game said, yes, the game is political. Which is
I'll
something...
believe that when I see it.
I know, but it is something that Ubisoft have specifically avoided saying
Uh-huh.
forever. Many times. So we'll
Dude,
see.
Dude, you have no idea how hyped I was for Far Cry 5.
I know exactly how.
So excited for that game to be incredible, and it was
wasn't.
not.
Nope. I was
It was
just
not.
I was just as excited, Jake. I was really disappointed with how mediocre 5 was.
I played that game for about 3 hours and put it down.
Yep.
And picked it back up.
Yep. Among Us is free on Epic Games Store right now.
Yeah.
And apparently
If you need the PC version for whatever reason, it is free. Go get it.
apparently due to this free promo, it went from 350,000 daily players to 2 million. Which
That's cool.
good on them.
Yeah. Among Us is a great game. It is
Mm-hmm.
beautifully elegant, and yeah, it's the zeitgeist, and it's probably cool to hate on it now, but man, I'll
It's good.
play a game of Among Us anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Shiver, listen, I will do that in a second. Don't even
All right.
you better, you're the one who offered, so you got to be there.
Let's do it.
It's a great game. It's a small team of like 5 or 6 people, I want to say,
Yep.
which is awesome. And they sold their game for $5.
Yep.
Now they're
And now it's free.
billionaires, probably.
Yep.
They're doing well.
Well, they were going to make another one. And then instead, they were like, we're just going to take everything we were going to do for the sequel and just smush it right on into the original. So
Fantastic.
that's cool.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm all for smushing.
I already talked a bunch
already
about
talked
the
about
Biomutant patch. Borderlands movie is a thing that's happening.
Dude, Kate Blanchett
I know.
is playing Lilith.
I know. I don't know how I feel about that.
All right, listen. I love Kate Blanchett.
Right.
love
But
Kate
but
Blanchett.
the strangest thing is that, and this is the thing that bothers me, is that Borderlands, in all of the like the visions that you have, which is it's something you have in Borderlands of Lilith. I think it's in 2 and 3 that they happen.
Mhm.
She's a real person. Like she's
what?
a person.
You could have just gotten the person.
I know. And it feels weird to me that it's not the person. And also, I just like, is there that much story to Borderlands that you can make
No.
a movie out of it?
No.
I know.
There's
I don't know how I feel about this movie, and I feel like it's gonna be another one of those, okay, video game movies are bad.
No, I'm gonna watch it. So here's the thing. I'm going to go see this movie, because I'm going to go see this movie for the same reason I went to go see the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. It's either going to be really good,
Like the Sonic Hedgehog movie.
or it's going to be an absolute disaster. Both are worth the price of admission.
Sonic the Hedgehog was really good.
Sonic the Hedgehog was incredible.
Like really good. Like had
incredible.
Had no. Same with Detective Pikachu. Had no like no cause to be as good as it was.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right.
Thursday. I am really excited for Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern. The Skulls Showcase. Warhammer stuff, but probably going to see some Total War Warhammer 3 and some Dark Tide, which I'm really excited for.
Paul was also talking about like a 40k shooter that was a thing.
Necromunda Hive Wars.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was pretty good.
It looks like it might be okay. I think it's more single player, so I'm holding off on picking it up. I'm more excited for Dark Tide because Dark Tide's Left 4 Dead.
I'm going to play Dark Tide because when Vermintide came out, I was like, man, they should make this but a 40k game.
And they have.
did.
Yeah. I'm really excited for Dark Tide. So there's also apparently going to be something from Frontier. They have the license to, I think, an RTS in the Age of Sigmar
Like the elite
era.
people.
Yeah, the elite people. So we might see something from them Thursday as well.
The
Planet
people.
Coaster, yeah, and Planet Zoo and whatever else
They
they
just
make.
need to make more. Keep going.
Jurassic World Extinction 2 or
Yeah.
whatever the hell. No, that's not right. Something like that. The Jurassic Park.
Jurassic
game.
Planet.
Hey,
No.
Frontier, I know you're not listening to this, but if you are, make Moon Tycoon.
Moon Tycoon.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember Moon Tycoon?
No, I don't, but I think it's the cutest name I've ever heard. Moon Tycoon.
Oh, dude, but also Moon Tycoon was incredible. You built a moon base.
Moon Tycoon.
It was just surviving Mars or Paraspora, but a proto version of it that would kind of leaned more into like the RCT mechanics and stuff.
You can still buy Moon Tycoon on Steam.
Really?
It's on Steam?
Moon
Yeah,
Tycoon?
it's 20 years old.
It is 20 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Look at it.
Moon Tycoon.
It's incredible.
I love it.
Apparently, the reviews are bad.
All
So,
12,
I mean,
all
I'm
12
very
of
there
them.
are
just be
12 reviews, so-
fondly remembering this game that I played when I was a very small child. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I am going through memory lane right now looking at this UI. Jeez. Okay.
Love it.
All right, I can't look at that because I'm gonna spend money on it and I'm gonna hate it. So,
All right, Jake, Sonic.
okay. So, speaking of Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic had a showcase, like a live stream, like a E3 live stream. So they're doing a bunch of stuff. No, Bluesy, please don't buy it. So Sonic is, I think they're releasing Sonic and Knuckles digitally, finally, which I think has not been a thing.
Weird.
I don't
Alright.
remember. So there's that. They're remastering Sonic Colors, which I'm actually excited for, because Sonic Colors is really good. There's been two good, like actually good, modern Sonic games that aren't Sonic Mania, which was like an homage to old Sonic, and that is Sonic Colors and Sonic Generations. So they're remastering this to make it not a Wii game, and I'm cool with that. They also announced a new Sonic project for next year. I really like I love Sonic as a property, but the games are so wonderfully bad.
Mm-hmm. I mean, not
but I need to see
traditionally.
it.
The old games are amazing, but the new ones.
They never
Yeah.
figured out how to pull a Mario with Sonic.
Nope. And all they needed to do is make Sonic control like a car instead of a platformer. But, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, Sonic Team, I know you're not listening either, but listen to me. Bring back the character creator from Sonic Forces. You could make absolutely horrifying abominations to use as your main character, and you need to bring that back, please. Thank you.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Okay. And now I will talk about Horizon. Also, last week, Sony bestowed upon
They did a
mankind
thing.
a gift. And that gift is a 14-minute gameplay trailer of Horizon Forbidden West.
Yep.
And they're like, hey, you really like Horizon, right? And you don't want us to change the formula too much. We understand that. But I bet you had some quality of life problems with the first game. How about we fix all of them? And we show them to you in a single gameplay trailer.
I would like you to point out these quality of life improvements to me.
Making it so things you climb on aren't obvious until you use your scanner. So that way the world looks more cohesive and not just like a platformer.
Makes
Fix.
good sense.
A game like Horizon with no grappling hook makes no sense. They gave you a grappling hook. The ability to swim underwater,
Yes.
given. The ability to or the melee weapon in the first game was not good. And they're like, hey, here's all the cool stuff we made the spear do this time. Now you can give it electricity and zap some dudes and combo it with your bow. That's cool. What if you could throw a spear? What if the spear you could throw exploded?
Exactly.
What if the human characters had armor?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just put it in me. Put it in me now. I need this game so badly.
You think it's gonna make this year?
No. Because they said it was going to come this year, last year, and then this year they didn't say
Said
if it was
nothing.
coming this year. Which
Yeah,
tells me it's going to be spring next year. In my opinion, it's going to be like March.
That's good because maybe then some of us will have a chance of getting a PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit, hey? Fuck. It's so hard to get a PS5. It might be the hardest thing in the world to do right now.
I
actually
think getting
wondering-
a 3080 is probably, or like a 3090 is probably harder, but
I could just steal the
yeah.
one from your house.
So, of course they are, Shipper. They don't have to ship them anywhere. They make them over there.
shipping.
Um,
No, it wouldn't work.
they
Stupid
don't have
region
to
locks.
quarantine the boxes for 2 weeks.
Right?
So, the reason why I'm curious is because the other game that was slated to come out this year, we have heard nothing about, and that is God of War Ragnarok.
Apparently,
since
it's
the
not.
announcement
Apparently, it's not
trailer.
called Ragnarok.
They just said Ragnarok is coming. Is it just called God of War 2, even though it's God
Don't
of
know
War
what
6?
it's called, but in a earnings call, they had God of War Ragnarok listed, and they actually issued a press statement correcting that, saying it is
Interesting.
not God of War Ragnarok.
They should call it God of War Loki.
So I don't know what it's called. It might even still be called that, and they might just be bullshitting, but
Everybody should play God of War 2018.
God of War was
It-
phenomenal.
It might. So, once again, I must clarify the distinction between best and favorite. God of War 2018 is not my favorite game to come out of the last generation of games. I'm pretty sure it's the best game to come out in the last generation of games.
Last
It
gen.
is
Interesting.
a perfect game.
That was like I can't talk about that. I'll talk about that at another time.
I don't know if it's Breath of the
I'll
Wild,
continue.
but
It's not Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild needed one thing, and it would have been number one.
a story.
2 things: dungeons,
Yeah,
real dungeons.
yeah.
I love Breath
I
of the
feel-
Wild. I want
I
to
feel
make
so
that
bad
very
about
clear.
this. I feel so bad about this when I'm playing it, but there's a third thing.
What's
It
that?
would be really, really nice if Nintendo would make something that looks like it was made this, in the past 15 years.
Well, Breath of the Wild
a
is a
lot of-
Wii U game.
I know, but it looks bad.
They
The
just
problem
ported it
is
to
they
Switch.
always support the previous generation on all of their Zelda releases, pretty much. Like
That is not true.
isn't it?
They've
They
only
did
done
it
it
for
one other time.
for the
The
past.
Twilight Princess.
So the past 2
They
major.
didn't do it for Wii U. Skyward
Skyward
Sword was
Sword,
only
right.
on Wii.
Yeah. I always
I
forget
mean,
about.
Maker was re-released on the Wii U.
I always
game.
forget about Skyward Sword because I never played it.
It's good.
I'm excited to
No,
play
I
it
mean,
now that it's
I-
hitting Switch,
I-
but
I understand, but it's honestly, and once I get into Breath of the Wild, I don't notice it as much. But I don't. It bothers me how bad
You
it looks.
play it handhelds or on your TV?
I mostly play it on my TV.
I play it handheld.
'Cause I was gonna say handheld, you lose a third of your resolution. So
So I'm sure that helps. Yeah.
It looks a lot
um,
better handheld, honestly.
I disagree with that.
Well, you can't see,
1080p.
but you can't see the problems, and it doesn't have. It's not trying to run it at 1080p, so it's not having as much frame rate problems.
Anyway, Dying Light 2? Is that what we're on now?
Yes, Dying Light 2 has a release date. It's a thing. It has a
December.
release date in December, and they actually released like a gameplay trailer-ish thing.
It also has a subtitle that I don't actually remember what it is.
Keep being human or something.
Weird.
Stay human.
Stay
Stay
human.
human.
Yeah.
Still
Which
weird.
makes total
Well,
sense. actually.
no, it makes sense because one of the things they show at the very end of the trailer is you transforming. You don't. It's like the original Dying Light. You had to get like these injections to stay human. Well, now I think they've taken it further. You're infected, and you have to keep injecting yourself to not transform into a zombie. The
I just
title,
think it's a lame subtitle.
the title makes you think that maybe they're doing something. The title makes me think maybe they're doing something with that. I don't know. I'm excited for it, but it's also had development problems, so I'm gonna wait and see what actually happens when it comes out for Dying Light 2.
Yeah.
What were the development problems?
They lost their writer,
Yeah,
probably for good reason though.
yeah,
Turns out Chris Avalone's kind of a
horrible
dick.
person.
I've heard bad things about him for a long time.
But also they had some development issues. It was sort of
Yeah, it was supposed to come out in like 2018, 2019.
it had a couple years of
Production
development
hell.
hell. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll see. But it is coming out. I'm excited to see what it's like when it comes out, and hopefully it's good.
For sure.
So you know how I was just talking about a earnings call where Sony issued a correction saying that God of War Ragnarok is not the title of God of War Ragnarok? Well, in that same earnings call, they had an icon indicating that Uncharted 4 will be coming to PC. And in the correction, they did not correct that. So,
I am 0% surprised.
Uncharted 4 PC. Possibly.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Maybe.
But yes.
But likely.
Listen, everybody in the chat, y'all are PC people and y'all don't have PlayStations. I understand. You need to play Uncharted 4.
I hope
Well, if
that,
it comes to PC, I'll absolutely play it. Or
You
if I can
need
get
to-
a PlayStation again.
You need to play. You should play. You should play
all of them.
all of them.
All of them.
But if you don't, you should play 4.
You should play
It
all
is
of
the
them
best one.
on easy just for the story. The gameplay is good,
Yeah.
but the shooting's not great in the first one especially. The story
remaster
is
fixes that quite a bit.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah.
I had a lot of trouble with the combat in the first one. Didn't really like
Yeah,
it.
they
but
put out the Drake collection a
yes,
few years ago.
the story is just outstanding.
It's Naughty Dog, man.
Yeah.
They can't be stopped.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Still, I think this is good news. I think more Sony stuff needs to come to PC. The more Sony stuff that comes to PC, the better, in my personal opinion. And this is a Naughty Dog coming to PC, which could mean, hey, Last of Us on PC at some point, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
I will say
might
this
be a
right
while.
now. If The Last of Us 2 comes to PC, 1, I'm gonna buy it again. 2,
Yep.
If you haven't played it, I'm going to just bully you until you do.
If it comes out on PC, I'm getting it.
Like,
Yeah, it's
there,
so good.
I
I-
will harass you until the end of time.
And I think in that...
I know you're gonna play it.
Oh,
I'm
100%.
saying just
Yeah.
the world at large.
So in that same earnings call, and I think we're going to see a lot more Sony exclusives coming to PC, because in that same earnings call, we found out that Horizon Zero Dawn, over what it cost to port it to PC, made 215% profit.
Hell yeah.
It is worth it for Sony to port these games to PC, and I think they are finally realizing that. Console supremacy does nothing for people who play PCs only. Give them
I
the
agree,
game
but
and they will buy it.
I do think there's a bit of a war inside Sony right now, because there's been a lot of chatter both ways. There's been a lot of like, the PlayStation 5 is going to have the most and the best exclusive titles, and we won't put them anywhere. And then they're like, yeah, but we're going to put a bunch of games on PC as well.
Now here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the easy way to solve that problem. There's a very simple tactic that people use constantly.
Timed exclusives?
Console exclusive.
Man.
Or
I'm fine with timed exclusives.
Or
I'm
just say
even-
it's a
yeah,
console
A
exclusive.
console exclusive is fine. Like that would be the best scenario.
Yes, absolutely.
But if they don't want to do that, and I would understand if they don't, why wouldn't you just
Like a year after, just
why
put
don't
it
you
out on
just
PC.
wait? Yeah.
Well, and then that actually makes a lot of sense in Sony's case, especially when it comes to these, because they want to focus on making it the best experience possible on PS5, which takes all of their focus and time. Then when it's done, either I don't know if they've got a third-party studio that can do it, but when it's done, do the port over to PC, right? And
They don't have a third.
it's internal,
every
right?
port so far has been done by the studio who made
Yeah.
the game.
But they can do it when they're not making the PlayStation one, and just give it to me at some point, and clearly PC players will buy it. Like,
Yep.
if you build it, they will come.
Of course. The good games will sell, period.
Yeah. Apparently Dragon Quest 12 is happening. There's very little
I
info.
completely forgot about the Dragon Quest stream.
Yeah.
All right, so Dragon Quest 12 is most definitely happening. They announced it. They also announced they're making a remake of Dragon Quest 3 in the style of Octopath Traveler, which
Oh.
yes.
Oh.
And yeah, give that to me right now.
Wow. Okay. They
There
also
was one other thing they announced, and I don't remember what it is, but those were the two important things for me.
Also important, they did say that Dragon Quest 12 will be a more adult Dragon Quest with more adult themes. They're saying that the battle system might finally change.
Less Dragon Ball, more Dragon Ball Z. I'm here for it.
And it's being built on Unreal 5.
Yep.
That's
If you haven't played Dragon Quest
crazy.
11 and you're craving a good JRPG and you don't want to play Final Fantasy 14 for some reason, you should play Dragon Quest 11. It is on PC and Nintendo Switch.
These last two are Eric, I believe.
They're me. So big announcement for hopefully everybody. So AMD talked about their Fidelity FX Super Resolution back when they originally released the 6000 series GPUs. But it was sort of like we're working on it, TBD. You know, it is coming out on June 22nd. The big deal for this is that it works for. It's not just AMD hardware that it works for. It works for NVIDIA. It works for NVIDIA cards. It works for.
FreeSync. It is fully open for anybody to use.
Yep. The early performance numbers, which of course come from AMD, look really good. But of course, the big deal with these types of technologies is always image quality. Like, how much does the image suffer? So we really are going to have to wait for the reviews of this to see some of the reviewers to actually get their hands on playing games in it. But still, if it is, actually, huge deal here is that they also mentioned that it also works for a lot of their other hardware, including the Ryzen APUs. So you can be running this Fidelity FX Super Resolution to massively improve the performance of an APU.
That's actually really sick.
On their highest setting, they were seeing on the highest performance setting, they were seeing 300% better frame rates.
Jeez.
Now
Man.
that is, of course, that is leaning heavily towards the performance side rather than the image quality side, but very exciting stuff. Unfortunately, like all of these technologies, they do have to actually be implemented by a game maker to work. So that is probably the biggest for now. Yep.
Now,
that's probably the biggest barrier.
Can it and DLSS be used at the same time?
Oh God!
I want to see someone try and run them both simultaneously and see what happens.
Probably not.
They'll probably eat each other.
It's gonna be like a single setting in the game that you can turn on, and then it'll be like, which one do you want to use? It's like picking your anti-aliasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Imagine
this
power.
Immediately when I read
all
this,
5 vaccines.
Yeah, right. um, Immediately when I read this, I saw the biggest potential for gamers being those people who don't have a lot of money and are trying to game on an APU. You could see an enormous performance increase with something like this. So what they were seeing was so their test game was Godfall, because they were a partner with for Godfall. But they went with the fidelity super resolution, or FSR ultra settings. So that's the best image quality. They went from 49 FPS to 78 FPS. On 4K, of course. And then for the performance setting, so the entire other end of the spectrum, they went from 49 FPS to 150 FPS.
Just a 3x improvement, no big deal.
Yeah, right. So that is coming in 3 weeks, so we're gonna get to see it soon, and should be very interesting to see. It has a lot of support, so it can support games on DX12, Vulkan, and DX11, and all sorts of different platforms and GPUs. It will be added soon to GPU Open, so it'll be under a complete open license and can be used by anybody. So the next one is that AMD has apparently just decided that they will not take their foot off the gas pedal with CPUs, and they are going to just continue to wreck everyone. They unveiled a new technology called AMD 3D V-Cache. They are moving the L3 cache to be right on top of the CPU.
Must resist. iCache joke. Can't hold it in. Okay.
So the bonus of this, of course, is that the communication between the cache and the CPU cores will be much faster. And they built a prototype of this, and they showed off some performance at Computex. So they built a prototype 5900X, and they were seeing about an average of about 15% better performance clock for clock just with this improvement in games.
Man.
So this is and of course huge variation in the amount of improvement, because it depends on the game and how they use a CPU cache. But so like League of Legends got a 4% improvement, but Monster Hunter World got a 25% improvement in frame rates. So like, you know,
it's really too bad that Intel's just dead now.
If you're buying an Intel CPU right now,
Don't.
You're only doing it because you have no other choice, or you're a dum dum. You might be a dum dum. You might be a dum dum. Small chance, dum dum.
Look, I hate
I'm
AMD.
willing to give you the benefit of the doubt and say there are no AMD processors. I need computer now. I buy Intel. I get it. I understand.
I hate AMD. I still bought an AMD CPU.
Yeah. So, and this isn't, it's a cool technology,
brand, Jake.
and they showed it off, but it isn't one of those techs that we see all the time at these shows that is not coming, forever. They are expected to have these chips in production by the end of the year. So it's and it was really amazing, because I've been watching a lot of Gamers Nexus videos. And poor Steve from Gamers Nexus, he's trying to find a pre-built computer to recommend to people, and he's like super, like, things have to be done correctly, right? And none of the pre-builts are any good, really, in his opinion. And he saw this news, he was smiling, he was happy, he was like so excited to talk about this news. He's like, this is amazing. So I'm very excited to see this stuff coming out. Probably we won't see much until next year on the consumer side, but should be good. A lot of good stuff for gaming.
Even then, it's not like anyone's going to be able to get their hands on one.
Right? Frickin' chip shortage.
Yeah.
I think that's it for news this week.
All right. It's time for our next segment. Segment.
The fourth segment.
Segment. Get you free shit. Oh yeah, there's a 3080 Ti.
Also, we forgot about. Speaking of things that aren't available,
Oh, yeah, sorry,
the 3080 Ti was announced.
I actually forgot to write it down. I was literally going to say, yes, there's a 3080 Ti and a 3070 Ti, and there's also, and it looks like there probably is another AMD GPU. It doesn't matter. You're not going to get one.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
It's 12 gigs of VRAM for $1,200. You should buy a 3090 if you're spending that much. That's all I will say.
GPUs are a total mess.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
Yep.
That's the reason Steve from Gamers Nexus, and if you've ever watched one of their videos, you'll understand what I'm talking about. He is trying hard to find a pre-built computer to recommend to people because he's trying to help his viewers because he reviews video cards and it's like, well, it doesn't matter. No one can ever buy one.
Yeah.
So maybe if we find a pre-built with a good video card, I can recommend it.
Yeah. The situation is just bad right now, but
it's so bad.
Get a PS5. Oh wait. All right. Segment. Get you free shit. This is where we talk about a couple free things that are out there. As we mentioned earlier, Among Us is free over on the Epic Games Store. I can't confirm this next one of Company of Heroes. I read an article saying that it was free, but for me it showed up at $3. So I don't know if Company of Hero is. It was weird because there's a giant banner when I searched it saying free forever weekend, but I go down to the price and it was $3. So that might be a Canada thing. If you're not in Canada, check it. Company of Heroes 2, excellent game. Yeah. And Tell Me Why is also currently on Steam for the month because it's June.
It's Pride Month.
It's Pride Month,
baby. Hey, here's the thing I'm gonna say. Tell Me Why did an awesome thing. Is bringing a lot of awareness to trans folk, and that's awesome. It's not a very good game. Sorry.
It is free.
It is free.
We don't judge things that are free. I mean, we do.
We do.
We do.
All the time, in fact.
All the time.
All the time. Oh man.
I wish it was better. I really do. The characters were just not that interesting. What's their name? Don't Nod. They made a better video game that has good queer representation in it called Life is Strange, and you should just play that.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have any trans people in it, but just a better video game with people who are LGBT. Do you want to play? You want to play a game that has really good trans characters in it? You should play The Last of Us Part 2.
Yep.
You should play that game. It has a very good trans character. They are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Someday.
It's very good.
Got a console that'll run it.
Tell Me Why is not that good. It's fine. Do you want to waste? Do you want to waste 8 hours?
No, I don't have 8 hours to waste.
Yeah.
I will say that it's Pride Month this month. Up in Canada, it is also Indigenous Month.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that was
Cats go nuts.
also June.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's also I don't know if it is in America as well, but
it is not.
It is not. In Canada, it is also Indigenous Month.
I think
a lot of stuff.
Correct me if I'm wrong,
Go
people
ahead.
in chat, but I think that might be November.
All I know is there's a lot going on in Canada in the news right now regarding Canada's previous treatment of Indigenous Canadians. It's absolutely horrifying. And this is a good time to reflect on not only the way we've treated Indigenous in the past, but the way we have treated LGBTQ plus in the past as well. Basically, most countries in the world, we have horrible records of being absolute shit to just about everyone that isn't, us. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Hey, listen, if you're being hateful, why? If you're going out of your way to put other people down for whatever reason, why? Why would you do that? Would you want somebody to treat you like that? Probably not. Especially for something that they can't control. You just stop. Because guess what? They're just people.
Yep.
We're all people. In fact, they're probably cooler and more awesome because they've had to deal with way more crap than you. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just give a thought to, other people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want
Precious, you
to
are
make
a
it.
meat popsicle.
I don't
You-
want to make
you
a
are
thing
not
out of it,
person,
but
you are a meat popsicle.
meat popsicle.
I will confirm.
At the end of the day, though, aren't we all meat popsicles?
Yeah, see?
Especially in Canada where we die and then
Freeze, yeah,
freeze.
yeah.
Canada already figured out cryogenics. They didn't even have to do anything. Just drop dead and
Very easy.
there you go. All set.
Oh, well,
hey.
that was a good show.
Be good to everybody.
Yeah.
Pride Month. Celebrate our differences. It's what makes us awesome human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
I want to.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah,
Got some
I
new
mean,
faces in
there's
the
lots
chat.
of there's lots of slogans right now of stop Asian hate, stop black hate, stop hate against Indigenous, stop hate against
Stop
LGBTQ.
hate.
It's just stop hate. Period. Just
That's all you gotta do.
don't be hating.
You don't even have to think about it. Just be kind.
Yep. So be kind, everyone, and thank you for stopping by and watching us chit chat.
Yeah, we do this every Tuesday.
It's true.
Same time, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to watch a show where they talk about a specific video game, that being Star Citizen, we've got that also on Saturdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
It's true.
I am not on that show because I work for Cloud Imperium Games. And they just talk about my roadmap updates anyway.
Basically.
Pretty much.
Which would make you perfect to be on, but
I wanted to give a quick shout
do you
out.
want
We
me
had
to
a
just
really,
read it?
really
yeah.
I'll just come on the show and read my roundup.
Yeah,
That's
just
it.
come on,
Okay.
read the roundup, and answer our questions. Done.
No, he can't answer questions.
I
Just
answered
read the roundup
questions
and
in
then
the
just
roundup.
click and he's gone and that's it.
Yeah.
Just pre-record a video of you reading it. I'll play it every week.
Okay.
And
An
now,
interpretive reading
Jake's,
of the roundup
Jake's
every week.
roadmap roundup.
Oh God.
I
folks.
wanted to just give a call out. We had a really good show last Saturday with
Yes, it
Griffin
was
and
very
Fastcard.
good. Very good.
So go check it out
Everybody
on
go
our
watch
YouTube
that.
channel. It was a great show.
It was these lads plus Shiver and Griffin.
Nope. Fast Cart and Griffin.
Or why did I say Shiver?
I don't know.
I meant Fast Cart. Fast
I
Cart
mean,
was
Fastcard
I
and
saw
Shiver are
Fast
the same
Cart in my
person,
brain. I saw Fast Cart in my brain and I said Shiver because I also love Shiver and I miss him.
We all love and miss Shiver.
Shut up, Shiver. Yeah, so go watch that one. It's very good. They'll be back this weekend. It's probably going to be less good.
No professionals this weekend. Just us clowns.
Oh
man.
And yeah, come back, give us a follow, come join the Discord there.
Yes, please do.
And come to the Discord and like talk about what games you're playing, and come back here
We
next
also
week
talk
and
about
be like,
space a lot.
talk about what game. Yeah, there's an entire channel devoted to just space stuff, which is really cool if you like space, because we like space.
Yeah. And space news has been getting crazy lately. There's a lot going on.
So good, so good.
Well, thanks, folks.
Yeah.
You all have a great evening. Happy Pride Month.
Happy Indigenous Canadian Month.
Do you know what we should all do just as an act of solidarity? I don't know why I thought of this specifically, but you know those giant lollipops that are like rainbow and swirly, but they're kind of terrible, but kind of amazing?
Yes.
We should all buy one.
I don't think any of the proceeds of that go to support
No.
Pride, but I mean, I'll buy it just to have one.
Yeah.
I mean, we should just do it anyway.
I'm thinking about it. Every time I see a Pride flag, immediately in my mind, I'm like, I want one of those lollipops.
Lollipops.
Why do you have to make your flag delicious? Okay. I mean, it's a positive thing. It's delicious. Food is the way to your heart. Food is love. Love is love.
Is this what
Pride
happens
Month.
if I don't shut off the cast? Jake just
Yeah, I'll just keep going. I love you all.
have a great night, everyone.
Have a good night.
Bye, everybody.
We'll see you next time.
Or day, depending
Thanks
on
for
where you
watching.
are.
Oh yeah, good morning.